As promised, wings are in the building. Southern is leading the way again, and a rock star moves to EBR. But let's talk about these roads. Roll it, Scott. You know, next to the weather is one of our favorite things to talk about in the city of Baton Rouge, and that's the traffic and what's happening with the roads. So let's talk to the man himself, Fred Rayford, Director of Transportation and Drainage at the city of Baton Rouge, East Baton Rouge Parish. Talk about Move EBR. And yes, I did see the council meeting this week, and yes, we are going to talk about it, working on something for next week's show. It was quite the spectacle, and you were there for that, but that's not what you're here to talk about.
No, sir. I hope not. That's for sure. Sir.
Let's talk about what's happening with Move BR. Man, I have some numbers that I was talking to Leah about before we started with the show. So 25.5 million pounds of debris removed, 96 miles of drain pipes cleaned. By the way, 942 sinkholes repaired. It's terrifying that we have 942 sinkholes.
Well, yeah, this is not part of the Move BR, but this is part of the drainage program
Right.
that we're all working on, Clay. And I would just say that we have plenty more that have to be fixed. There's no question. Our backlog is horrible,
Yeah.
but it's a lack of people, lack of resources, and a lack of funding that created some of these issues. If we, thank God, we were able to, the mayor was able to secure the funds from ARPA to be able to get these federal dollars to help address some of the ongoing problems like cleaning pipe, fixing storm drains, cleaning canals. All those are components of what we've spent almost $30 million on.
So, you know, we are on the backside of hurricane season, knock on wood, and
Yes.
hopefully we get to a place where, you know, we're not as worried about what the water does. But I've seen on Ward Creek, for example, all the stuff happening out there. Tell me about that.
Well, you know, we have, this is part of the Tributaries project. That's another $255 million program that we have through the federal government. Wards Creek was being cleaned, which will be from Bayou Manchac all the way up to PQ. We've cleaned under the ARPA funds from Wards Creek up to Segan.
Yeah.
That's been a big plus. It's helped facilitate water moving in that, not only in that area, but upstream of the process, and it's worked very well. I mean, I've been out there on many rain events and that we've had, not lately, because
Right.
we hadn't had a whole lot of rain, but
No.
I mean, certainly it functions like it's supposed to, and once you keep it clean, and that's our next goal, is to figure out a way to make sure we have the funding to keep it maintained like it is today.
What about this thing on College Drive or on I-10 near College going in both directions? There's been a lot of conversation about that. For people who don't know, what's about to happen, and then how long will that last?
You're talking about the improvements that are
Yeah.
going to be? Well, that is certainly under DOTD's control. However, we have been very much involved because, quite frankly, the public doesn't know who's responsible, but they know how to get a hold of their local government. That's no question, and we are very
In
much
other
involved.
words, they've been screaming at y'all about something that's not true.
Yeah,
not
that's
for
okay. You know, I mean, you know, because it's still our parish, and
Right.
we're all responsible to try to minimize the inconvenience.
Right.
Let me make it very clear, when this project gets started, there will be some inconvenience. There's no question. They're debating on when they want to do lane closure, or maybe even they're looking at maybe we may not have to do that, but that's still a decision that has to be done. Our goal is to look at some of our major corridors, and I have 17 that travel from some parishes that get you to the downtown area.
Yeah.
Try to get those things underway, traffic controls, look at new signals that would, the upgrade, synchronization, and try to help facilitate moving traffic. That if you do get off the interstate and you use one of these roadways, at least attempts to minimize the inconvenience and the delays that you may incur.
You know you're going to get screamed at a whole lot when this is happening.
Oh yeah, I know, but that's after 37 years you get used to it, Clay, that's for sure.
All right, let's talk about some of the other expansions and happening here with Move BR. I know that almost it's 98% of the project is complete. So let's talk about that.
Well, the 98%.
Or design of Ford.
Design, yes.
98%
We're underway with a lot of the projects that are in priority 1 and priority 2 that was set up from day 1.
Yeah.
We're currently under construction right now with a few projects that will help us, minimize inconvenience and congestion. I think that in the coming months, we're going to be looking at letting Ohammond Highway out from Millerville to O'Neill Lane.
Yeah.
Everybody's complained about that roadway. Certainly there are many projects that we're trying to address in the future on major corridors so we can enhance the capability of moving more cars and more safely. It's not all about moving cars too.
Right.
It's also looking at building another network of sidewalks and biking, because many people in this community have expressed those desires to have that type of infrastructure.
Yeah. All right, well, you can log on to movebr.brla.gov to learn more about the project and the timelines. The best who's ever done it. I appreciate you coming in, man.
No problem, Clay. Thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.
SUBR in the house next.
Yeah.
Dr. Janice Snowden, Dr. Katera Allen Williams, both from the Southern University, representing the university and specifically the Ag Center there at Southern. So many great things going on. And Dr. Snowden, we were talking about this before we sat down to do the interview. I don't think most people understand the impact of the Ag Center at Southern and all that it does outside of just educating kids. Talk a little bit about that.
So not only do we have the educational component, we also have great research programs. We have extension programs. Actually, one of the programs going on today in Alexandria, Louisiana is our Small Farmers Conference, and this is the 12th, the 12th annual conference. And so you have people statewide coming to there to learn more about agriculture and what we do at Southern University Ag Center.
So, Katera, there's multiple campuses, obviously, and there's the rural component of Louisiana. I was telling Dr. Snowden that my uncle, God rest his soul, used to go and buy cattle at the auction there because he had cows. So I think people understanding that is a huge part of the Louisiana landscape economically, what's happening at the Ag Center.
Absolutely, and so as Dr. Snowden says, we have a special component called our extension component where we have actual programs within more than 46 parishes throughout the state.
Wow.
Some of the work we do jointly with LSU. We also have a very strong livestock program. I know you guys are big supporters of that program.
Yes, I like the cow.
Yes.
So does Scott.
And speaking of the cow, one of the other things that we're very proud of is our Sun Beef, is what we call it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes.
So it's Southern University Natural Beef.
Okay.
And so what that is it gives a new meaning from farm to table, if you will.
Okay.
So it takes that cow throughout the process.
Yeah.
And ends up being some really great sliders.
Where can I get that? I'm asking for a friend.
So I will tell you, we actually sell some of our beef during our livestock show.
Oh, yeah?
We also have a partnership with our food service company on campus.
Yeah.
So we are really, it's a very lucrative program, and it's something that we are focused on, and we also use it as a teaching component.
Yes.
So
Write
our
that
students.
down, Cameron. Beef at Southern University.
That's right.
All right, so let's talk about the other entity in your portfolio. Oh my, Southern has gotten into the. It feels weird to say the cannabis business, but let's talk about that because it's so lucrative and great. But tell me about what's going on with that.
It is, and it is weird saying cannabis, but that's where we are, and making great strides in that space. But oh my, it is definitely living up to its name.
So okay, tell people what Oh My is.
So Oh My is a 40 milligram gummy that we released in August of this year, and it is the first of its kind on in the market of this this dosage. So what it does is it's actually designed for patients with chronic pain or other ailments such as, but it has been just a game changer with this product. And for most patients, where you would naturally buy like a 10 milligram, you're able now to either increase that dosage to what you need, or you can cut in quarters, and get that dosage amount. So it's definitely changed the game for us. and also patience.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what does great service to me, just hearing patience and the testimonials we receive about Oh My. So.
And it's named after my guy, Orlando
and
McGinnis over at
Yes,
Summit.
yes, yes.
And
Yes, it is.
If you know, oh, it just fits. So
It
well.
It fits in perfectly. Perfect name.
Tell me about the
perfect
gala
branding.
in the last couple minutes we have here. Tell me about the gala.
So being that we are the only HBCU doing this work, we are so proud of the strides that we've made. I mean, we are really transforming lives as it relates to healthcare and pain management. So we are having our inaugural
Yes.
gala, and it's going to be October 5th. It's at the Old Governor's Mansion. We're very excited about it. It's going to be from 7 to 10 p.m. And Jana may want to talk about where we are getting the name from.
Okay. So with this one right here is actually the celebration of 5 years of medical marijuana in the state of Louisiana. So it's just not a Southern University Ag Center or a Southern University system, but it's a statewide initiative. And you know, we're just so excited to have the sponsors that we've brought along. But it is SU Ag Center, Ilera Holistic, our medical marijuana partner, and Southern University Foundation. And through this, we are actually naming it after the late Governor Kathleen Blanco.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it will honor her, it will honor Senator Mills, and also Ted James.
I appreciate y'all coming on. I got about 10 seconds. Y'all don't be strangers, all right?
We will not.
We will not.
We have a lot going on, and we can't wait to join you again.
Thanks.
All right. Let's talk EBR schools next. So the chief of human resources at EBR Schools got herself a rock star. Y'all know this guy right here, Eugene Collins, now with EBR Schools. You know, normally when Chief Hall calls, I try to avoid the call, but you know, this time I took the call and she told me about this. So tell me about this, man. This is fantastic.
Man, Clay, I'm telling you, it's a new chapter. I'm looking forward to it, and you know, we got some good things ahead. We got this employment fair happening on Saturday, as well as just some of the things that we can do to bring the community and district together. So I'm looking forward to it.
So what led to the opportunity to have this gentleman on your team? I mean, it's pretty clear to anybody who knows me how much I respect him and what he does, but I think that's an asset. What led to that? Y'all got one right. So what I'm sorry.
You know what? We tried. We're really trying. So we're trying to bridge the gap. You know, this is part of Dr. Narcise's initiative. It's to bridge the gap between community and EBR schools.
Right.
So we're trying to be more relatable, more approachable, and all that. So this is a perfect opportunity. When I found out that he was retiring or whatever it is from his leadership position, his other leadership position with the NAACP, it was a great opportunity to see what this could bring for EBR and the community. And I know he's well respected amongst his peers and the community, and we're really trying to, you know, heal and bridge the gap.
Well, you know, I don't put that word respect on many people, and it's not about disrespect, but it's a whole other thing when you're in the trenches. And we talk about this. There are a lot of people who talk a lot about what's going on, what's broken, what the problems are, but there's very few people who actually get out and apply effort to make something different, and Eugene's always been that. That brings me to where we are with schools now. I was on a panel recently and I talked about how when you think about educators now, it's not just first period, last period teaching. There are so many other things that teachers and school professionals are required to address. What do you think you bring to the table to help impact kids in the school system, especially kids in disinvested communities?
Well, Clay, you know, you and I talk about this all the time, right? Sometimes the voice that you get at the table isn't always the voice of the community.
Right.
And sometimes the voices that get heard isn't always the voices that need to be heard, even though everybody should be heard, right? But sometimes the voices of the folks that some of the issues that go on that it actually affect, those folks largely don't have a voice at the table. And over the years, you know, I was out there with those folks. I was on the lines with the folks that normally didn't get heard, and we amplified and did good work and made sure that those folks that sometimes nobody listens to, that there's somebody there advocating for them. And when I look at this, I don't see anything different, right? Bringing those voices into the rooms, bringing those voices into the building, bringing those voices into the schools so that everybody feel a part of this. And that's what I want this piece of work to be about, making sure those folks get heard.
I got a couple minutes here, and we got a couple graphics about some things happening
Yes.
at the school system. You've got something. Let's talk about the Empower Your Career event on the 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Definitely. So you know me already. I always like to be the winner of all the time. So with Doc, Dr. Narcisse, he is such an innovator and a strategic thinker, and it's always think outside the box. And this is how can we bridge the community. And we're having it on the north side of Baton Rouge. We have a lot of vacancies there that we just cannot find good help, right? Talent. And sustainable talent. And the goal is to be intentional about our recruitment event, right? So the Empower Your Career, this is a move that I discussed with Mr., my right-hand rock star here a few weeks ago, and I was like, how can we bridge this gap to get the community more involved, to see that we really do care, we want to make a difference. And this was where this came from, and this is part of Dr. Narcisse's vision, is to, once again, bridging the gap between the
All right, and then this
community.
other graphic, Scott, quickly, we've got about 45 seconds, but I want to, what's the other one? You've got something else
Fall
happening.
Fling.
Fall Fling,
So
yeah.
Fall Fling, this is our second year doing Fall Fling. I'm super excited about that. So Saturday, September 30th, is the spin-off of Fall Fling, which is October 7th at Broadmoor Elementary. And it's pretty much the same thing, recruiting for all vacancies, bus operators, child nutrition, teachers. If you're a retiree, come on down. We want to sit with you, and we want to help you get a job.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all gonna stick around for wings?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah, I ain't
sure.
gonna know.
As long as I'm not there.
Listen, if you wanted to find out about some great wings in Baton Rouge, it's a done deal. I'll tell you about that next. Wings, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chef Chris Done Deal Hurts.
That is it.
What's going on, man?
Loving it, sir.
So these wings are golden.
That is correct. That's
Help me
100%.
understand that.
That's a culinary art skill that you're starting to see at popular restaurants, especially up north. It's a wing sauce with a dusting of gold flake.
Yeah?
Gives you a great taste, especially when you make good wings like I do.
Listen, when you had the glitter going, the ladies in the room were trying to get some glitter on them and everything. I don't know if that works so well for the guys, but
No comment.
So let's talk about the essential wing. Like it's football season, man.
It's football season,
Yeah.
tailgate time. You can get you a nice little deep fryer from any of the stores locally.
Yeah.
You can fry up a batch of wings. Right now I did 60 wings in less than an hour using this fryer, just
Shut
getting
up.
them together.
This
Fryer right here, there's 40 plus wings in the oven there.
Yeah.
And it's just a good process. And it's a good thing to have at a tailgate. Easy, fun. You can make your own sauce. You can throw some veggies on there to make it health conscious. And this is a done
'cause
deal.
Chief Hall is here, and she won't eat anything that's just not completely organic and everything. Y'all come in here and try. Let's get after these wings right here. Now hold on. Here's the other thing that I'm noticing now. I'm sitting with a friend of mine, and this is a thing that's new now. People saying they want flats or. Come on, man.
I'm telling you, it's a real controversy, and people
What's the
judge
con-
people by flats or drums,
Seriously?
It could ruin a relationship.
It's like, 'cause I was sitting with a buddy of mine, and the first time I heard it, he's like, well, I ordered wings, I want all flats. I'm like, what the hell is a flat?
And I'm a flat person too.
Oh
so.
my God. Oh my
But think about wings is it's easy, it's quick, especially if you got a good sauce, homemade sauce, barbecue sauce,
God.
and then it comes down to the seasoning. I marinate my chicken overnight. Anything that I cook, learned that a long time ago from my granny, and that soaks in the flavor to anything you do. So
Overnight?
Overnight.
Really?
Get your wings, clean them, cut them. Heard what I said? Clean them, cut them, season them, let them marinate overnight. When you throw them in the grease, and that's without flour, without any batter, crispy as you can get out. It's a done deal. And then the flavor with the gold wings is that mustard-based barbecue sauce over there that I'm working on for my barbecue sauce line.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I'm intentionally not going to get a flat because I'm not going to be a part of this ridiculous.
Not part of the conspiracy, huh?
Oh my God. Thank you. My man, you got it.
But
How much time do I have? All right, so let's talk a little bit about etiquette when you're serving food at a tailgate. Things that you advise.
I tell folks, try to keep it simple, but, top notch. You know, I'm not going to bring steaks and you know, some folks bring all that, but you want to bring hamburgers, hot dogs, things you can quickly cook, and you can regulate the temperature because you want to get nobody sick.
Right.
So you want to stay within that boundary of what you can cook and meet that temperature and things of that nature. So, like, you know, you want to follow your guides for anything you cook. So most of your equipment that you have has the guides out there tell you, get your chicken up to 190. So that means you got to have a thermometer out there to make sure you check your food.
You know, I like to ask this because I think what you do is art.
Yes, it's my passion.
So why'd you get into it?
So my grandmother taught me from the day one how to make cakes. 4 cups of sugar, 4 cups of flour, 2 sticks of butter, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of vanilla. Bam, you got a cake. And I started learning recipes out of that. And then my career, I'm into transportation. I work for Barbecue Guys. Director of transportation. But this is my passion. Cooking is like in your heart and your mind. Your recipes come from your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, and they have a little bit of your history behind them.
What's your go-to? If somebody said, Chef, I need your best dish, what is it?
My best dish, I would say my lasagna is probably one of the best dishes.
Really?
Because we, you know, a big family, you made dishes that lasted, spaghetti, lasagna, pastas. Yeah. So my lasagna is top notch. Now that I'm older and I can spend a little bit more money, so when you're grinding up prime rib instead of regular hamburger.
So you brought up steak, so prime rib. So let's talk, what's your steak technique?
My steak technique, I'm medium rare.
Same.
Sear off the grill, put it down, and nice flavor. Salt and pepper, no steak sauce. No steak sauce.
Who does that? Nobody here does that.
No.
She said, oh God.
Well, here's an option for you, for vegetarian. Slice of pineapple, nice little salt and pepper, seared on the grill. You'll love it.
A glass of water is nice vegetarian. and so
or mushroom.
In terms of desserts, your go-to?
My go-to, I make a lovely banana pudding, and I've just learned how to make bread pudding by being here in Louisiana.
Come on, man.
So I've learned, and it's amazing.
Huge Cincinnati Bengals fan.
Solid, 100%.
Loves him some Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, Kenny Anderson, Boomer Esiason. I go through the whole list. So it's not a new day.
So
it's old school.
I'm a 49er fan.
Yes, sir. You put us out of many opportunities to go to the Super Bowl over the years.
He said that. I didn't say that.
Many.
All right, next week we're going to talk to the new lead at Our Lady of the Lake. And also there's a mentorship program happening here in Baton Rouge. We'll introduce you to the lady who's behind that. And then the council meeting this past week was, I don't even know what to say, y'all. It was something else. We'll talk a little bit about that. There were 2 incidents that happened at the council meeting that y'all don't even know about. We'll get into that a little bit too. And then Chef, these wings, man, come on, y'all jump back in here. Get a flat if you know. How can they find you on social, Chef?
Chef Done Deal on Instagram or Done_deal on Instagram.
Y'all have a good weekend. The 5 o'clock news is next.